Hello and welcome to today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Welcome to a world where every moment is a story waiting to be told. Here on Jamaica Magazine, we often witness people's stories, along with updates and a glimpse of what's happening in our country. Today is no different. We'll explore the work being done by the Urban Development Corporation to preserve the country's wildlife in its Natural Resources Conservation Program. Please, don't move a muscle. We'll be right back after the news.
Don't let the heat beat you down. Extremely hot days can affect your health, causing heat stress and heat stroke. Protect yourself. Seek sheltering from the sun and limit outdoor activities to mornings and evenings. Wear light-colored, loose-fitting, breathable fabrics. Hydrate with cool water and avoid sweetened drinks and beverages that contain alcohol. Don't let the heat beat you down.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, May 28, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is encouraging persons who are building houses to look at the new social housing program, NSHP, as the standard to follow. Mr. Holness says dwellings constructed under the program stand as models of adherence to proper building codes and regulations. He asserts that the structures, though simple, are well built and can withstand almost any natural disaster. The Prime Minister was speaking at the handover of a 3-bedroom unit in Rocky Point, Clarendon, on Friday.
We took into consideration that this is a flood-prone area, and therefore the engineering provisions were made to lift the building. So as I look around the yard in which this building is higher than almost all of them. Right. And this is a very important part of what the social housing program does. We go into communities and areas where the buildings may be substandard or not in keeping with the code. And we use these buildings as a demonstration to persons who would want to build.
A total of 5 houses were handed over to beneficiaries in Clarendon on Friday, 3 in Clarendon Southeastern and 2 in the southwestern area of the parish. Mr. Holness says the NSHP is part of the government's social safety net and will have an impact for generations to come. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck says $530 million was paid out last year in judgment debt for 182 cases. This was paid from an allocation of $750 million by the Ministry of Finance. According to Minister Chuck, the burden on the government in the lawsuits ranged from $5 to $50 million, and the improvement in the government's ability to clear the cases is possible because of the extraordinary economic growth now being experienced in the country. Mr. Chuck made the disclosure during his contribution to the 2024-2025 sectoral debate last week.
In 2017-2018, we got $1.5 billion and paid off all the backlogs. And what is important, Madam Speaker, is since then, every completed or settled case, we have been able to pay. So no one can say that they win a judgment or they have a settled claim and they don't get paid.
$680 million has been earmarked to settle claims during the current financial year. Meanwhile, the number of duty counsels at the Legal Aid Council has been increased to provide representation to more persons in need of the service. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the Legal Aid Council will continue to provide quality support and effective representation for the most vulnerable in society.
We have increased the number of duty counsel who have been empaneled, and I can say, Madam Speaker, that everyone now who needs a lawyer at the police station, a duty counsel, or one in court, they just need to call the Legal Aid Council and they're provided with an attorney.
The Council has also implemented training sessions in Jamaican Sign Language for attorneys. Government Senator Abka Fitz-Henley was sworn in as Parliamentary Secretary during a ceremony at King's House last Wednesday. He will serve in the office of the Prime Minister. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen, who presided over the ceremony, congratulated Senator Fitz-Henley and urged him to give of his best in service to the nation.
It's a great honor to receive someone who is young and vibrant, because it tells us that we are preparing the next generation of leaders to follow after us in our footsteps. Hopefully, we would have done well enough for them to model some aspects of leadership that is taking place now.
In his response, the new Parliamentary Secretary thanked the Prime Minister for the confidence reposed in him and welcomed the counsel from the Governor General.
I take those duties seriously, and I understand that this position is not one of self-aggrandizement, but it requires a deep and serious commitment to advancing the interest of the people of Jamaica.
And finally, the inaugural Black River Film Festival has been endorsed by actor Cornelius Grant, who played gangster Bucky Marshall in the Bob Marley One Love movie. The festival, which is scheduled for June 28, stands as a catalyst for local talent, inspiring youth to explore the realms of filmmaking, documentary creation, and various creative expressions through their mobile devices. Mr. Grant expresses excitement about the festival's potential to discover local talent and attract investment from international film industry. He was speaking at a JIS think tank held at our regional office in Montego Bay.
It's not only incorporating new content creators, but also showing students that, hey, listen up, being an artist or being a dancer is not only we come take up a camera. Everybody I look for we Jamaica now. Because the Bob Marley movie ranked number 5 of all time in biopic.
According to Mr. Grant, Jamaica is regarded as the hub of the Caribbean film industry, with an increasing number of young persons emerging as content creators. The festival starts on June 28 with an empowerment workshop for young filmmakers aged 14 to 18 at the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. It continues on June 29 and 30 at Lola's on the beach. Interested persons can visit the festival's website at blackriverfilmfestival.com for more information. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Planning for your child's future is necessary for every parent as it sets your child for success later in life. That plan must include a financial roadmap for their education.
Hello everyone, I'm Xavier Campbell, an educator, financier and entrepreneur. Education is very important to our development and can take years to achieve the highest level. It is also very costly, and some persons will have a difficult time finding the money up front, especially in the absence of careful financial planning. So, within the next few minutes, I want to share a few steps that will guide your approach to financing your child or children's education. Let's start with, when should we begin that financial planning? According to the Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Although there is no perfect time to begin planning for your child's tertiary education, starting as early as possible is the best way to ensure you are prepared financially and avoid the common pitfalls. Having a step-by-step plan is the best way to ensure that you are able to finance your child's education without sacrificing your personal financial plan. There are several things to consider when planning for your child or children's education. However, most notable among them are parents must identify the future costs of tertiary education and have a clear sum in mind of what their target will be. Then work their way backwards to present and see how best they can earn to realize the future goal. A clear financial plan should be put in place either by the parents themselves or with the help of a professional financial planner. The discipline is what follows the plan to ensure that all financial objectives are being taken care of in terms of allocations and meeting the various timelines set out by the plan. Once all incomes and expenditures remain in accordance to the plan, by the time your child reaches maturity, their tertiary education funding would have been readily available to offset the costs associated. Now your options could be savings or investments. Both are good, but let's look at them closely. There are basically two ways to make money. One, you work for money. Two, your money works for you. So savings is the process of putting aside a portion of your income for future use. In this case, we are talking about education. So if you're going to save, you need to put aside some of your income to ensure that you're able to offset the cost of your education in the future. While investment is you putting money aside that will generally earn interest over the period of time that you put it aside for. Therefore, having a plan inclusive of savings and investments can put parents in a better position to offset the future expenses of education. Firstly, if you're not financially literate, I would advise you to seek assistance from a professional financial advisor to ensure you are getting qualified advice that will help you achieve your goal. Here are the 5 steps of planning your child's education. Step 1, set target date. Step 2, find current cost of the education. Step 3, find target amount. Step 4, estimate the returns you can generate. And step 5, calculate the monthly contribution. Here are some additional things to consider. A partner plan is a very good thing. Creating a savings account and/or fixed deposit. Invest in one of the various educational products available from a preferred financial institution. And maintain your discipline while ensuring that the projected amounts are allocated at the appropriate time to achieve your financial goal effectively and efficiently. One of the most common mistakes that parents make is that they think that they need this large lump sum. But as the Jamaican proverbs go, every mickle make a muckle, so therefore they can start small and then build onwards. Now another mistake that they normally would make is the fact that they think that savings alone would help in terms of offsetting the costs in the future. What I would recommend is for them to use a culmination of both savings and investments in order to achieve their financial goal. So the first disadvantage I want to speak about is the inability to set financial goals. So you not being able to set goals will also lead to you being demotivated and lack the knowledge that is required to achieve that goal. And as a result of that demotivation and that lack of knowledge that is required, then there is no direction. So we consider it to be a lack of direction, right? And if there's a lack of direction, then what will happen is that poor financial outcomes would be the result of that. In concluding, planning for your child or children's education is not just dependent on the numbers. Rather, it's a combination of several factors, namely social, personal beliefs, religious, your way of approaching, and general outlook at life. However, the cost of education on a rise. Parents are looking at various investment vehicles to secure their child or children's future. Judicious planning for your children's future is essential, and empowering them with an education plan is a wise thing to do. Start to reap maximum benefits very early. Create a sustainable future for them to bloom in.
A country's natural resources are vital for ensuring sustainable development and the well-being of future generations. By protecting these resources, we maintain ecological balance, support biodiversity, and secure essential materials needed for economic growth and human survival.
Environmental management and monitoring are core responsibilities the Urban Development Corporation UDC carries out in protected areas in Negril, Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, Hellshire Hills, part of Portland Bight, Port Royal and Palisadoes. As such, the corporation is committed to mitigating negative impacts on our natural resources through monitoring and enforcement by 6 environmental protection officers.
When we speak about natural resources, the simplest thing to think about is the environment and everything that it entails. So the plants, the animals, we're looking at the soil, the water, all different aspects of it that all interrelate, and also how the people interact with it.
To reinforce its conservation measures, the UDC carries out sound environmental planning and monitoring, management of protected areas, as well as environmental education and outreach programs.
So we carry out monitoring either on a monthly or a quarterly basis. This gives us an idea of what the impact of anything that we're doing to the natural resources.
Some of these interventions involve bringing internal and external stakeholders together to carry out various activities to commemorate days that bring awareness to different areas of the environment.
Our largest activity to date has been International Coastal Cleanup Day. We have it in Hellshire, and we did collect a substantial amount of plastics and other garbage.
The conservation program is also extended to the critically endangered sea turtles.
So in St. Anne's in particular, we have started a program of monitoring the nests, seeing when they occur, ensuring that they're safeguarded while they are there, and then enable the hatchlings to be able to return to sea. So far in the last 3 years, we've had a very successful program. We've had over 2,000 hawkbill turtles returning to the sea.
A similar program is being carried out with the Jamaican iguana, another endangered species that is found in the Hellshire Hills area.
Young hatchlings are carried to the Hope Zoo, which they are nurtured until they get to a certain size and weight, and then they are returned to the wild. This is supposed to give them a competitive advantage against predators.
And did you know?
At the Green Gutter Caves, we actually have 11 out of the 21 species of bat that are found in Jamaica. So what we do is monitor the caves to ensure that the habitat is safe and suitable for the bats.
We also monitor to see what's going on with the crocodile. So for now, we look at the nest, we also look at the birds that are around, and to see how everybody is doing. So it's like we have a big ecosystem.
NEPA delegated the UDC with management authority over the Hellshire Hills in 1999, so that's another way in which we collaborate, and most recently an MOU to develop the Goat Islands.
Since then, the corporation has been working with stakeholders and other users of the area to carefully balance the development of urban settlements with the delicate ecology of the area.
For non-governmental partners, one of our major partners is CCAM, which is the Caribbean Coastal Area Management Foundation. And with them, we partner in managing the Portland Bight area, which is the largest protected area in Jamaica.
I'd urge persons who are visiting and living within the boundaries of the protected area to not dispose of their garbage in irresponsible ways, because they eventually get to the marine environment.
The corporation ensures that it remains compliant with national and international environmental policies, legislations and regulations by conducting monthly and quarterly checks of all its facilities and attractions. This is to ensure that these facilities are constantly at the required standard for safe use by patrons.
So the UDC also sits on the Beaches Control Committee, as well as the National Council of Ocean and Coastal Zone Management Committee, both of which are responsible for creating national policies relating to the conservation of the coastal zone across Jamaica.
The Urban Development Corporation, achieving sustainable development within the corporation's designated areas by creating a balance between development and management of natural resources. A prime example is the soon-to-be implemented Goat Island Wildlife Sanctuary. To learn more about the work of the Urban Development Corporation, call 876-656-8031 or visit their website at udcja.com. You may also follow them on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit their information center on the ground floor, Kingston Mall, downtown Kingston.
The Wildlife Protection Act is a piece of legislation here in Jamaica. It was enacted in 1945 that tries to look at our animals or wildlife on the island of Jamaica and try to ensure that they are conserved to some degree and not overexploited. So they're also, as an island, we have a lot of unique species. And if we lose those species on the island, it's gone to the entire world. So that is also one of the reasons why we have this piece of legislation, to ensure that Jamaica can maintain its wildlife and preserve the wildlife for future generations. In the Jamaican context, being an island, being very small, some persons have never left the island before, and so Jamaica seems big, but Jamaica is really very small. We have a lot to lose. We have a lot of resources and we have a lot to lose. So we're encouraging the public not to overharvest, not to go against the Wildlife Protection Act and take animals that are considered protected species. And if animals are in a vulnerable situation where you think they need assistance, we encourage persons to first contact NEPA at 754-7540 and ask for assistance, especially if those animals have the potential of doing harm or being dangerous.
An essential oils incubator is a crucial facility for fostering innovation and research in the extraction and application of natural oils. It supports the development of new products, which helps to drive growth in the healthcare and entrepreneurial sectors. Did you know that the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, or JBDC, provides such a facility? This next feature has all the details.
Essential oils are basically extracts made by steaming or pressing various parts of a plant, such as the flowers, bark, leaves, or fruit, to capture the components that produce fragrance. Increasing use and demand for these oils offer significant possibilities for entrepreneurship and wealth creation. And more Jamaicans now have the opportunity to tap into this income stream through the newly created Jamaica Business Development Corporation JBDC Essential Oils Incubator.
The Essential Oil Project presents an opportunity for manufacturers across diverse industries such as food processing, fragrance, and cosmetics.
The global essential oils market is growing steadily, and according to Markets and Markets Research, it is projected to earn $15.3 billion in 2027, up from its current market size of $8.8 billion. To secure a slice of this pie, planning and implementation for the JBDC's Essential Oils Incubator project began in 2021. It followed a review by the Public Investment Management Secretariat (PIMSEC) and approval by the Cabinet. The project seeks to stimulate more local entrepreneurship development and support for rural and vulnerable communities, import substitution, and promotion of export.
So we actually got 15 million as seed money to set up the incubator. And that for us was a major achievement.
Farmers growing plant materials for the essential oils industry can now utilize the facility to add value to their production and even more.
This is another firm indication of the government's push to develop the value chain in agriculture and to strengthen our non-traditional industries.
The impact of increased homemade products will be significant in reversing the current trend, where about 80% of essential oils used locally is imported.
We need to reduce our import bill. There's no doubt about that. So why don't we provide for the needs of our own people by using what we have? Why not?
The model being promoted entails 1. A facility that provides incubator space for use by clients who will process their own raw materials stimulating entrepreneurship within and in their surrounding communities. 2, capacity building to be targeted to our processors. This group will benefit from trainings in product development, good manufacturing practices, supply chain management, and business development skills.
The JBDC Essential Oils Incubator is a 2,400 square foot facility. It is equipped with amenities for washing, chopping and sizing raw materials, as well as steam distillation units of varying capacities. It also boasts a manual and an electrical 20-liter hydraulic press for mechanical extraction. This is useful for persons doing cold press oil. There is also a peristaltic filler and a small laboratory equipped to do some of the standard tests required on essential oils that will be produced in the space.
And when we say from concept to market, which is our byline, it means that the whole value chain have opportunities, and we want the oil to work, to get all the wheels turning, so that we really have full benefit at the end of the day.
Projections are that 4,500 people will be impacted by the end of the 4-year cycle of this particular project. In Jamaica, we have the raw material for the oils, which are in high demand. Ginger, turmeric, lemongrass, pimento, castor oils, coconut oil.
Demand for these products is being fueled by an increased perception amongst consumers of the health benefits, therapeutic and otherwise. Some plant-derived essential oils are said to have antibacterial and antifungal properties, and there are those used for aromatherapy to treat a wide range of conditions, including anxiety, pain, and insomnia.
So farmers, consider how you can take advantage of this new facility that JBDC is making available and engage them for the necessary partnership. They are providing a facility as well as training on good manufacturing processes, supply chain management, and business development skills. It's not just growing. Growing is that primary production. You get the least from primary production.
The opportunity for business along the value chain extends from just farming the raw materials to operating a processing facility, supplying equipment and packaging, transportation, warehousing, and marketing. And if any of this strikes your passion, rest assured the JBDC is ready to take you from concept to market.
We've come to the end of our program, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. You may visit our website in the meantime at gis.gov.jm to re-watch this show or to catch up on the others we have on the site. I'm Adrian Atkinson from our production team at the GIS. Thank you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.